I'll film a little more. A lot of tango kind of stuff. I gotta read about Argentina sometime, but I really don't remember that much about it. I remember like going around the city like quite a bit. And there's a woman that took me around, and we were up late one time tangoing. I remember that. I guess it's recording. The other time it recorded and the yellow light was on for some reason. I'm not really sure why. It was blinking on and off. I'd film it. It's not a whole lot to see though. I was thinking about, there was a time where I went to, I think it actually was like in Greece with some islands, and they had built a Colossus. It was a statue, like they did in the old days. They even said so, and they built it just for me. It's like I went around it in this like bay. It looked a bit like it was like a miniature version of like Volos Bay in in like Midland, like Greece or something. It was like a miniature version of it. It was like, I would go. It was like almost like that tree right there, and I went around, and the waters were kind of wavy a little bit, not much, and then it got kind of smooth when we got into like here in the bay. And then it got a little bit choppy just for a bit, and it stopped, and then it got kind of wavy, and then it was smooth, so we got right up onto the shore. We went up and around like that, and then there was like these little waves there, and then we got out and kind of walked around a bit. It was sort of like here, where they get like a tree right there, and it was like that, except for it was like a big old statue. It looked like it had like this and like that. I can't do it with both hands. Sort of like a mesh, but it was like little gills. It was almost like a mermaid or something. It had gills, but scales or something on a person, I guess. And I was calling a mermaid. And it was right there at the bay, and that's what they said. They like rebuilt something just for me. Thought maybe another tourist or something as well. And we went on a little rowboat, and we went out and around, and I looked at it, and there it was. It's a big stone statue. The other thing too was there was like the Hanging Gardens, of Babylon. There was like a thing that was like that. It was like growing fern, ivy like that, and I remember putting my hand out like that, and it got water went down like there, on my arm, and then I put both my arms out like that, and then this one got water going all the way down here under my armpits and stuff, and they just had like water going down the trickling down the plants. It was all done just a certain kind of way, so it was supposed to be it was kind of like cool. Like a wall and some columns and stuff like that. That was kind of about it. Oh, and then the pyramids, I was supposed to think of them as like this, that, and that. And then you pause at the top, you rest when you get there at the top, and then you go like that. So you go like that. So I'd remember, not that, I just did that, but then you go like that. They're either playing soft music or she's not talking. Starting. There we go. It was like the Colossus of Rhodes. It was, it was like a statue. It did something like this. Yeah, it's like its feet. And it had like a little tail that went like that way, or some kind of like Miriam's dress, I guess. And it was I thought it was like a mermaid is what I thought. It's really big too. It's about as tall as that tree. It could have been about as tall as that tree up until where you get a lot of the greenery on it, and then maybe no more taller than that. But it could be about as tall as that tree. And so I'd say it was probably about as tall as up to like where most of the vegetation begins on that tree. And then there we go. There's something about it being like blonde or something, and there wasn't like many blondes around. There was like talk about taking paint and like painting the hair black. I always thought they did like before I like left or something. It was kind of a joke, and then I think they wound up like actually like doing it or something. I think I went by it one time when they had the hair painted black and it was lit up at like night with some fanny torches or something they called it, I think. They didn't go like that. They were shaped like that, and then there was like a fire in the middle or something. It was like fanny torches. It was supposed to make my Olympic torch index finger right there, kind of thing. Really probably can't see it, although I've shown it before. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the slow, dull part of the concert for the barrage of hit songs later. Actually, it's like a Natillie Merchant thing. I don't know if she does the 10,000 Maniacs thing or not. I don't know. Lucy the cat. Lucy the cat was a kind of like a Russian blue, but she was that Charmenaise or something French cat that we used to have in throughout the 90s, and I named her Lucy. I have talked about this before, and I think I talked about it and recorded it. And I named her after a tiger-like looking cat that Wendy and Dennis. Oh, what's their last name? I don't know. I'm supposed to be related to, I guess, in Sacramento, they had a cat named Lucy, and I like that name for a cat, so we named the cat Lucy, and she was like a Russian blue, but she was like the Charmenaise French cat anyway, and So, a lot like a Russian blue, though. You know, kind of small frame, kind of muscular cat. She would climb over fences and stuff like that a lot. So, and she'd climb up over my shoulder and stuff. And named her Lucy, like not unlike Lucy. She's gonna be playing a lot of stuff from the new album. I forgot there was a new album out. I think I heard something about it, and then I saw it this last time when I saw the advertisement for the thing on Facebook just like about a couple hours ago. I forgot the concert was tonight. Totally forgot. And I kept thinking it was like maybe like next week or something, right at the end of the month, which I guess this is it. And so there we go. I don't know. Can people hear me like this very well? Let alone the concert. I don't know. Listen to like some of the playbacks on some of these things, and it's just like usually if I hold it like this, it's like fine. So sometimes I've done like speeches where I'm like out like this, and it's just like you get like nothing, you know. So that's for the committee to be watching all the time, so you don't slip up, so you don't find out everybody else is like miles ahead of you, and you're working for Kamiev. You know, because one of these days you wake up and you go, oh, this guy actually does have a lot of credibility, and we should have been. We should have been listening to this guy and taking him seriously all along. It's just like, yeah. If there's like an investigation kind of thing, lots of people throw you off the track, you got to kind of figure that the one it's all about is incredibly important, incredibly powerful, and you don't want to be in a position where you're kind of like, it's actually this fellow, and it's 2019 or 2020, and we're just figuring that out. Isn't that incredible? And it's just like, we already like knew that, us people in China and Asia and Africa and South America and Australia and New Zealand, you know. Well, you gotta. There you go. Southern Cross. You know, and then kind of go, we're absolutely useless, yet we could have done something earlier. Yes. We got people to protect that go around filming stuff, and we lied when we said they were putting their lives at risk and stuff. And now, like I saw some stuff this morning, it's just like, it's not necessarily true. It's our lives and our necks that's on the line. And it's like, yep. You're that thing in the middle, though, that gets squeezed, you know. From one side that you know you're going to get squeezed, and you got to, you know, toe the line, and you got a mind. And then all of a sudden the other side starts squeezing you, though, and you're like, uh-oh, now we're in a hell of a lot of trouble. So it's like, yep. A lot of, you know, good that does anybody like right now. I'm right here. Alright, gotta watch that because I gotta have a light. Yeah. She's the one I wrote about the daughter, and at the restaurant that was like the place in Seattle I was with Angela and Hannah, Karina Mary Dollar. And we had a daughter, and I was kind of a kid myself, just running around. We all kind of, that's what we kind of did, the daughter and I. Stuff I was writing about, not just now or will like in the future, like I already wrote, and I got it right there in the corner of Johnson and 23rd. Johnson's also the street where the current queen, woman who's playing the queen since the late 70s, early 80s, was my mother, probably about 4 or 5 houses downhill from where I got that, which is out there like right now. committee be like, well, I don't know what to tell you, you know. And these people can't speak out and tell you the truth, you know, but they can hint around to it quite a bit. And you know that much better than I do. I know what you work for. Helicopter. Not now, but earlier. Oh, just for code things. Here we go. With stickers on and lots of young boys wearing corduroy pants. Take that look off your face. Which is what the song's about. Talk over the music, I guess. There was a thing too where I was getting from committees. I think it was like this morning where they were like, financial things about this fellow have been like messed with for at least the last 2 years, since 2015. It's just like, is that where everybody's at? This has been going on for like 4 centuries now. And no, there's no such thing as a committee that would invest anybody that was in the state that I'm in and in the conditions I'm in, and then say, well, you got to prove it to us. Well, I'm walking around with a damn radio, you know. Well, we got this, that, and the other explanation. It's just like, innocent until proven otherwise. You need to like just kind of figure everybody that has a story is like, and you could create a system easy enough to do so. I don't know, I just got, even like a couple of weeks ago, it was just like, we got to respect the process and the committee. We got to find out who this, that, and the other person is. We just never really like know. And it's just like, some people like know. And, you know, you treat everybody reasonably well. You get them in house. And Hannah, you know, like I keep saying, like, you know, like the new Frederick Douglass, you know, quarter. You get them house, you get them Hannah, and then you listen to their testimony. You listen to what they got to say. If there's a committee out there, you're worthless. If there isn't one, and there probably isn't now, then there isn't one. No, there just isn't one. And there's nothing to respect, even if people are told that. I was told the truth about things, and you're the one, Greg, that doesn't know it. How do you know? I shouldn't talk through the music. It's Lucy. We're married. And I'm not really familiar with her music very well. I got Tiger Lily, and I know those songs fairly well. And that was only like recent. And then like, you know, some of like the hit songs and stuff. You know the song Lady Bird? And then there's this album butterfly out, and I don't know any of that. I'm embarrassed to say I didn't get that. God bless America. So is a covered gun. It's like right there. Cover it. Yep, covered gun, French. Like I've been telling everybody for about probably the last year and a half, almost 2 years. Why don't they come right out and say so? Because there's a gag order on that thing. They can hint around to this sort of stuff.